Hey everybody, I am SF Rogers, and not joining me today is not D.L. Golden because he's lame. It's his birthday. But joining us for the Authors Chaos podcast is one Kelsey Winton. Kelsey, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kelsey, as Sarah said. My oh gosh, now I'm just blubbering right now.
You're
And what do
fine.
I,
You're
what do I even say
fine.
about myself? I am an author, a creative, and nerd. And my debut novel is Games of Tangled Hearts. It is a romance game RPG. So it is a slow burn, heartfelt modern romance where two gamers meet online and then they have an in person meet cute as well.
I love it so much. I have seen your book like from you kind of like developing the idea when you first started like coming on Book Talk and you came across my feed. I was like, she looks like so much fun. Like that looks like a fun story. So, how did you get started on your writer journey? Like, have you been writing for a long time? Did it just kind of fall in your lap?
So I have two different answers to this question when people ask me because a part of me feels like I've always been a writer. I remember way back when I was a little girl writing Sailor Moon fanfic because I didn't want Sailor Moon to have to choose between Tuxedo Mask and Prince Diamond.
Yep.
And so dabbled in fan fiction writing for a while. Always wanted to write a book, and part of that 80% of people that always say that they want to write a book. But it wasn't until after I got my master's and I really got to sit down and be like, what do I want to do with my life now that I have my degree? Like, what is the next step? And I'm like, I'm going to write that book. That's always been in my heart. I want to write my heart's book.
Mhm.
And that's how this baby came to be.
That's awesome. That is so, I love finding other people who are like, I always feel like this has been a part of me,
Mhm.
but I just took the leap and said, you know what, I'm gonna do
I'm
it.
doing it.
I'm doing
Yeah.
it. So what inspired Games of Tangled Hearts? Was it like your own life that inspired that story coming out, or what inspired it?
Believe it or not, Shakespeare inspired it. Um, because I was a big thespian. I read Shakespeare for fun. Um, and I used one of his plays. It's Two Gentlemen of Verona. It's one of his really early works that nobody knows a lot about as a base for an outline of a story. Like, let's break this down. Let's turn the 5 acts into 3 acts. Let's change some stuff around. And at the core of Shakespeare's comedies, there is an identity switch where usually it's the men dressed as women dressed back up as men to go and chase after their love interests. And I'm like, how can I represent that in modern times? How can I
Right.
modernize this? And I was
Right.
like, the internet. You can be anybody online.
Right.
And most often I see that in video games. So that's my lived experience and what I felt most comfortable writing about.
Right.
And because you have, it's kind of like having like your author persona. It's you have your online persona, you have your gamer tag, and then you get to go online and like in Baldur's Gate make whatever character you want to make and
Yes.
play multiple playthroughs and have different personalities. But there's like it's an inception of character development there. But I also wanted to write it in a way that was accessible to people,
Hmm.
so that even if you're not a gamer or a cozy gamer, you can pick up the book and still understand what's going on and still get immersed into it.
That is so cool. Like, so lit RPG is something that I'm new to. Daniel, when he wrote his book, he was explaining it to someone at like our very first in-person event. And they were like, "Oh, it's literary RPG," and none of us were like, "What is that? Like, explain that to us." So when I started hearing you describe yours that way, I was like, "I know what that is. I like that. I like that type of writing. Like, I am such an Assassin's Creed, Skyrim
Mm-hmm.
player that like now I hear lit RPG and I'm like, oh, I can get into those worlds because I know the way that the leveling systems work. I know all of the jargon, like I know the things, right? So it was really, really cool to see a woman talking about writing a lit RPG because men who D&D and who do all of these role playing things were like, it's nice to see that, like, okay, I'm not alone in my love for video games and my love for just stories like that. So it was really, really cool. Oh my gosh, this is
You are
hard.
absolutely not alone. There's like, I believe statistically, 60% of gamers are women. We just game cozily, or we are more selective about the games that we do play, or we tend to go for more story-based games.
So you mentioned Baldur's Gate. Are there any other games that, like, you would say influenced this book or this story?
Oh yes, this book is influenced the role-playing game mass multiplayer online platform that they play in is called Mundo, based on the Spanish word for globe, which is the Globe Theater, and that RPG was based on Genshin Impact, which is actually a free game if anybody wants to go play it. So, and it's like, it's a huge game. You can go ahead and go do that. So I say it's Genshin Impact mixed with Zelda Breath of the Wild, mixed with a little bit of Pokemon Go actually in there. And I say Pokemon Go because whenever you create a character, you join one of 3 servers, one of 3 factions. And that's kind of based on how you want to play the game. And so then it's like the Junta faction versus the Machia faction versus the Kabbalah faction. And they all have their own like symbols and colors and merch and all that kind of fun stuff.
That is so. Can we expect a Kickstarter in the future for this actual game? Since you created it,
I can only imagine. I can only like. That is such a stretch goal for me. Like for someone to actually develop this.
Let's speak it out into the universe and like manifest it.
It's going to happen.
We're going to have Kelsey's game
at some point
where all of us can just hop on and play. And this is it would be so cool. It would be so cool. So, is this the first in a series? Is it a standalone?
My plan is interconnected standalones.
Okay.
So you can pick up Games of Tangled Hearts and read it, and it is a complete story. It is Sylvie and Val's love story. Okay. The next one is one of the side characters that I personally loved writing, and I'll just say that the next book is going to be based on Taming of the Shrew, which is one of my favorite plays. So it's going to be. I think the tentative title right now is Games of Cunning Courtship.
Oh my god.
So a little bit of enemies to lovers, a little bit of fake engagement, fake dating, fake engagement.
All the things we love so much.
Yes, all the themes that we love so much. And that's in the outline process right now.
So essentially, people could pick up a book and just go like back and forth inside of it. Okay, that's a really cool. I like that style of setup. I had the privilege of beta reading for you. Are you willing to talk about that book?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk
about it just for this podcast.
Let's talk about Healer and the Warlord because I loved it. I loved every second that I got to sit down. When I reached out, I was like, she may not want like other authors, because I know sometimes we say beta readers and we want readers. We're not wanting that feedback from another author's perspective. So when I reached out, I was like, she may just say no. And when you were so enthusiastic, I was like, it's just me. I promise. It's okay.
No, I was like, oh my God, she wants to read my stuff.
I absolutely loved it. Like, I loved the concept. So why don't you just talk about it? Like, it's.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a novella So it's meant to be like that poolside or beachside day read that you're able to pick up and put down and then give to somebody else to pick up and put down. So the concept kind of came about with a critique group that I'm a part of in a Discord, and it was like, what if gods played matchmaker, basically? So I came up with this concept about a divinely blessed healer, and that is like supernaturally bonded to a divinely blessed warlord. So diametrically, he unalives people and she heals people. So she thinks of him as nothing but this like mindless brute that's going around swinging swords. It's also set in an East Asian feudal Japan inspired setting because I wanted something a little bit different than just like a Eurocentral. I'm a huge anime fan. I know we talked about K-pop Demon Hunters before, but it felt like the right setting. I had to do a lot of research for it, consulting a lot of different people. So some themes that is going to come through, it's duty versus choice, and some tropes would be, I'm hesitant to call it enemies to lovers but you called it enemies to lovers, so
it's if you don't want to go enemies to lovers, I would definitely say it's aversion to lovers, because she is very much, like you said, diametrically opposed. She's like, you are going around killing people. Like, I cannot. I cannot. And it was the way you wrote it that I was like, she wants him, but she knows she shouldn't want him. That I was like, girl, I see through you. I see
through you. It's like, nope. And yes. I love writing the pining for it. Just like,
yep.
It's like it's the small moments where she's like, oh, I might be wrong about him.
Right.
So
well, and it's the banter between an enemies to lovers for me, where they're like, there's, even if it's hatred to lovers, right? Like, I just finished Throne of Glass, where your enemies to lovers, he punches her in the face the first time they meet each other, right? So like, to see that and then end the series where they're at, and you're like, okay, this is my cup of tea. Yes, I am an enemies to lovers trope stan. I will die on that hill. That like, chef perfect. So are there more stories, more novellas that you're planning like that one?
Yes. My plan for that one is to write 3 novellas in the same world. They'll follow 3 different characters that are all introduced in Warlord. So like the sister-in-law, Miwa, is going to be another one. She's going to be the next story. And then I'll release them as ebooks for somebody, but then put them together in an anthology to print that.
Oh,
so you have all 3 stories in one book.
So like an omnibus.
Yes.
That'll be cool. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
So I'm getting artwork done for it right now. My cover artist is doing the cover for it, and it's like so close to being done, and I wish it was so I could be like, look at the thing. But it's not done just yet, so I can't. I mean, I'll show you. I'll show you whenever it's done, but I can't show everybody else right now.
Right. No, I have this firm understanding that like, if people are sending me like sketches or they're sending me unfinished things, that this is a very privileged, like, this is a very privileged place that I'm in. And I try not to be like, oh, I've seen it, right? Because like, Ella has seen my cover. I think you've seen my cover for Isolation, but you guys also understand that I'm trying to like tease it out and make people want it. So I am very flattered that you are including me. Like I'm very, very flattered. I told my husband earlier, he asked me who we were interviewing. I told him your name, and he was like, do we know her? And I said, I'm going to know her, and she's going to be my friend. And she's already my friend, but we're going to be best friends by the end of this. I just know it. Like,
We are internet author friends.
We are adopted. We're adopting each other. It's fine. It's going to be fine. It's fine. So with the Games of Tangled Hearts, with that series, do you know how many books you have planned?
10.
10? Oh
10.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So you are gonna have a full game fleshed out by the end of 10 books. You will have, that's stretch goal. You will have a whole world.
Yep.
So what's been the craziest part of world building for that game?
Coming up with all the little side quests. All the stupid little side quests that you have to do to grind to get XP or to do it as a completionist. That has been the biggest thing for me because I'm like, it's like, what can I do to make this like short chapter that I need plotline A to happen, but now I need a plotline B in the story to happen. And I'm so sorry if you can hear the mower going around in the background.
It's okay. It's okay. Because I think at the first of the interview, my neighbors decided that their sports car needed to be revved as they pulled out. So it's totally fine. We're real laid back. It's fine. So I told someone the other day, they asked me what's been the hardest part of my fantasy series, right? Mm-hmm. I created a polytheistic religion and a world that no one else knows about. The hardest thing for me is remembering what I made lore and didn't actually put in the book, but I know that needs to go in the book. So my alphas are like, Sarah, I don't understand where you got this. And I'm like, oh, that's lore. Hold on. Like, I need to fix that. Like, that's lore that I did not put in there. So I will write a new paragraph with the
lore.
With the lore. Like, it's all lore. That's the weird part, though, is that all of this lore lives rent-free in my head. So I'm always thinking about it. And it can't go every piece of lore can't go into the first book, right? Like, some of it does have to get drawn out. Some of it does have to come later as, like, aha moments. But then you also have the fact that, if you don't sprinkle some of the lore in there, you're missing a whole bunch of stuff, right? Like, so with the side quests, I know you play video games often. You're also playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Did those things influence those mini games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you talk about some of the mini games that you put in it without spoiling the book, or?
Yeah. I've taken inspiration from Genshin Impact. I've taken inspiration from Legend of Zelda. So, like, one of the little mini side quests that they have to do is it's when Val and Sylvie are first playing the game together. Mm-hmm. So it's just them, nobody else. They've decided to do this on their own and come together. And they find a quest where they have to deliver a love letter from person A in Village A over to Village B, and then they fight something along the way. And then help person B, who's not good with words, come up with a response. So they're kind of writing a love letter together, and in a way, but they're just friends at that point. So, but it's also adding to the tension with that. So just taking something simple as like a delivery quest and trying to twist it and be like, how can I make this work for improving their relationship or deepening their relationship?
That's so good, Kelsey. That's so good. So I know we're not super close to the end. We're coming up on like a 10-minute mark or so. I'm going to go ahead and ask you, what is one piece of writing advice that you super love to share with new authors or upcoming authors? What's one piece of writer advice that you like to give?
I always give the piece of writing advice that I found most helpful for myself.
Okay.
And that was to establish a writing routine and write every day, even if it's just one word, because that's one word that you haven't had before. And so often for me, the hardest part of writing is getting my butt in the chair and the document open and pressing out that first word with the
Right.
key.
Right.
Once I get one word down, then usually more come,
Hmm.
even if it's only 100, even if it's only 250. Not every day is going to be a 10,000 word day. And
Right.
that's okay because one word is progress.
Yes. I like
And
advice.
just being gentle with yourself
Hmm.
that way too.
Like
One word is progress.
one word is progress. I like that. That's not one we get very often. We get a lot of the do it scared, like
Yeah.
just right, or like you can't edit an unfinished manuscript. Like
Yeah.
you can't, and you got to finish the manuscript, right? But that's just one word. Just write one word. I like that. I like
Just
that
write
better.
one word.
So, like, I just started my Dungeons and Dragons journey with Ella, who's in the
Okay.
comments. We did our first one shot. We should be starting our next one next week. I have a 10-year-old friend who has wanted to play, and I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? Let's do it. Let's do it. So we know, I think we know the campaign and stuff. How did you get into your group? Because you're with like DM SETI, you're playing.
Yes. So that my Dungeons and Dragons journey goes back like 10 years.
Oh gosh.
So there's different editions of the game that have come out. I started playing when 3.5 was the edition, and then
Okay.
4 came out, and then now we have 5, and then we have a like release of 5 with new rules for 2024 versus the 2014 rules.
Hmm.
So I've always been, I don't want to say always been because it's like 10 years and that's not my entire life, but
Right.
I've been with this game for a while, and I can tell you if you can write a fantasy novel, you can play Dungeons and Dragons. If you play Dungeons and Dragons, you can write a fantasy novel
Right.
because it's you're creating the world and the stakes and the story in your head.
Hmm.
But I was on TikTok, and DM said he found me
Hmm.
through my book talk and everything, and he invited me to this Discord. The Discord's name is Floki's Tavern,
Hmm.
where there's a whole bunch of like-minded Dungeons and Dragons people or tabletop RPG people, and there's also a writers ring and a writers wing. That's where I have my critique group, and um, and a book club in there as well. So I got to know Seti a little bit more, and um, I started helping him build up his brand and managing his website, and we became just good friends. And then that's when he invited me to play in his game. I was, and the game on Thursdays, we play Thursdays night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. Um, well, we play live. You can also catch past episodes on his YouTube at DM SETI on YouTube. But it's a group of all women, and I've never played with all women before. Like
Hmm.
I have DM'd for new women because they've come in and they're like, Kelsey, like you play D&D, like can you teach me? Like I don't want to like play with the dudes and be weird and stuff like that.
Right.
And then my husband will come to the table because he'll be the experienced player
Uh-huh.
there, or I'll invite other friends that I know that are safe and comfortable and will help them,
Yeah.
just so that they can have a more well-rounded experience. But I've never been a player at a table where all the other players are
More
women,
women.
and I'm loving it. So there was already, since I was coming into an established routine, there was a bard, a paladin, a fighter, a cleric, and a rager. So I'm like, what does this group need to round out? And so that's intelligence. So I'm like, I'm gonna play a wizard.
Right.
But I always like to try to put a spin on my characters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what if this wizard is just not doesn't like they're smart, they can get down and study, but isn't book forward?
Yeah.
Like, what if they're socially forward? What if they're Elle Woods?
There you go.
And so that's how I came up with Emery. So
I love it.
we joke that she is from the city of College in the town of Sorority.
I love that. Love that so much.
Yep.
What, like it's hard?
What? What, like it's hard?
Right.
Like being a wizard is hard?
Right.
Yeah,
yes,
so
Kate. What, like it's hard?
what, like it's hard? So.
All right, Kelsey. So as we round out, if you want to tell everybody where they can find you, tell them where they can find your books, and we'll start closing out this episode.
Absolutely. Is it done already?
Yeah, I know, right? It goes so fast.
It goes so fast. So again, my name is Kelsey Winton. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at author Kelsey Winton. My debut novel, Games of Tangled Hearts, is available. Am I allowed to say the places?
Yes.
I'm allowed to say on Amazon. It just got into Barnes & Noble online. So yay for that.
Yay.
It is a game lit romance, lit RPG romance, but you do not need to be a gamer to enjoy the story. And my next release is going to be The Healer and the Warlord, which is what we talked about earlier. And I'm aiming for October for that, but that's my tentative date.
I am
So
so
like, yay!
I am so excited. Well, I am SF Rogers. I am the author of Execration of Autumn. Isolation of Winter should be releasing here in the next couple of weeks. It is the sequel and follows Cora as she goes to the Winter Court to kick some ass and take some names. I also have a contemporary romance coming out at the end of the year called The Biker and the Book Dragon. It is currently with Alpha Readers. D.L. Golden is the other co-host who is lame and not here. He is the author of Origins and Odyssea. You can find those on Amazon. You can find my books on Amazon. And you can see us both at JomoCon on August 2nd. Yeah, that's the next upcoming event we have. So thank you all for being here. Have a good night.